Welcome back to a Telltale Books video. I'm Greg. I'm continuing my John Brunner series. Brunner, not sure. Continuing my series of his complete works with his seventh published story titled Armistice. This was just a short story. It was published in the January 1955 issue of Astounding Science Fiction, which I have here. The cover art is not for the John Brunner story. It's just a generic Christmas image painted by Frank Kelly Fraze. And in my opinion, not one of Fraze's better works. But Brunner's short story is in this issue. You can, of course, find the story. You can find this issue of Astounding, as a free PDF online and read it there. And it was actually published under his original name of K. Houston Brunner. Now, in Armistice, you have an alien named Kerguelen, not sure how you pronounce that, but he's infiltrating the human world, hoping to save man from himself. And very short story, not a great story, I wouldn't say, but it's a pretty good short story, which brings up a whole interesting argument of how much control there should be in society, how much should be left to free will and personal preference. How much should people be left alone to live their lives? And how much should we have laws and controls on society controlling people? And where do you draw that line? And the story kind of illustrates the clash between a very highly controlled society and the aliens that want to get rid of those controls to free the human mind to explore ideas freely without restraint. And so, which is preferable? Which would you prefer to live in? Would you prefer to live in a world that doesn't have very many laws, that pretty much just lets people do what they wish? In which case you're going to have conflicts and you won't have anybody there to say, no, that's illegal, can't do that, you're going to jail, you know. Or do you prefer a world with laws, and just how far do you want to go with laws? Do you think we should have a law that tells us we have to wear a seatbelt? You know, really, aside from possibly protecting your life, what it really protects are the interests of the big insurance companies. Saves them money if they can get more people to wear seatbelts. Is that how we should set laws? Should we set laws protecting people from losing money who purposely put a product out there to cover people in the event of accidents? Should our laws protect the interests of big corporations, or should our laws be more focused on the individual people? Where do we draw those lines? Just how far should we be going with controls on our society? Have no controls whatsoever. You're going to have people just doing whatever they feel like, stealing your stuff, killing you, raping your wife, doing whatever they want to do without concern, because there's no law to stop them. So you want some controls on society, but just how far should we go? We have a society that seems to be getting more and more controlled as we go on, mainly because of things that are happening. But, I think we're approaching that point where we have to say, look, here's the line. We shouldn't go any further down this road. We shouldn't control our society anymore, because we're going to turn everybody into mindless drones who can't think for themselves. because the law says they have to do this and they have to do that. You need some freedom. You need people to be able to follow their own path to a certain extent. And I think that's what this short story is that's the point the story is trying to make is, where do you draw that line? Where do you stand on that issue? How much control do you want versus how much free will do you want? And it's a hugely important question for us, one that we really need to always have in our minds before we pass new laws. So, have you read Armistice? What did you think? Leave your comments in the comments section of the video for everyone to see. And I hope you'll come on back. Our next John Brunner story is going to be one called Visitor's Book. And that one is just another short story. I hope you'll come back for that and more. In the meantime, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and talk to you in the next video.